G'day, guys and girls. Chief here with your weekly Noble 9 Games podcast, video, shit talk, whatever you want to call it. We one-stop shop for, we say games, but we're just talking shit at this point, so let's just become a shit talk channel. With me, as always, my partner in crime, Turtle. Turtle, g'day, mate. How you doing?
Hey, man. What's happening?
Mate, all sorts. It's been a very busy week around the world.
Well, let's get stuck into the Noble 9 version of that world, eh?
That's it. So, viewers, we're moving to sort of more segmented aspects of the show now. So, we're going to start off with what we're calling news of the world. And we also must disclaim not any affiliation with the actual news of the world. Very, very important that we distinguish that because we cannot get sued.
Unless you guys think we can take on the powerhouses.
Yeah.
Which we will endeavour to do.
Fuck them.
Exactly. All right, Chief, take us away, man.
All right, so big headlines. As usual, we start with the US because that seems to be the center of the universe. So this week, confirmed Trump is COVID negative. So he can no longer infect anyone and he should be immune to the virus. So everyone running around sooking about him going to rallies and infecting people, it's just absolute rubbish.
Well, that right there just shows you how little the public of the US know about Voldemort. He's free of the situation and he can do what he wants now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at US media for 5 minutes and you realise just how biased and one-sided and fuck they are. I mean, their agenda is as plain as day to anyone to see.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
But, mate, Orange Man bad. Mate, have you seen his dance moves? Hits up YMCA. He loves it.
Does he really? I actually haven't seen it. That might be a thing that I need to look up and have a look at.
Mate, he does that because you know he's like in his early 70s.
Yeah, yep.
And we know how, when you get to that age, dancing, like, old people can only really move one limb at a time. So he sort of does like a one-arm pump, like he puts one arm out, brings it back in, then gets the other arm, pumps that out, brings it back in, and just alternates that. Like he's doing sort of sideways punches to YMCA.
So does he look like he's having a seizure?
Mate, he looks like he's ripping it up. He's Trumpster on the dance floor. Mate, the Trump train's rolling. It's fucking hilarious. I love it.
It's left the station and it is chugging along.
Oh, mate, hilarious. Like, think of him what you will, but the man's funny. He's a charismatic president. Charismatic president, I should say.
Well, he puts on enough fake tan for it, so he better have something going up his sleeve.
Oh, well, everyone needs a bit of entertainment these times. Anyway.
That's exactly right.
That's it. Let's move on. So the next big news, this is far more serious. So the Biden-Harris campaign, Democratic campaign, have been inundated all week with the same question, and that is whether they're going to stack the Supreme Court or pack the Supreme Court, depending on who you're talking to. And all week they have refused to answer the question and have said, Joe Biden himself has said, and I quote, the voters do not deserve to know whether I will pack the courts or not before the election. His rationale for that is effectively that if he makes a decision and says that he will pack the court or he won't pack the court before the election, that'll be what the story's about.
So for people that don't know what packing the court is, which I'm sure is not many of you, but that is stacking the court with your supporters so that you can push through bills, etc., for your benefit.
Yeah, effectively. So because the way the Supreme Court works in the US is actually not the way it's meant to work. Because right now it's got to a point where the Supreme Court is essentially making up new legislation instead of just interpreting the law based on the Constitution. Now, the reason why that becomes difficult or problematic for court packing is because because I think there's about 9 judges currently on the Supreme Court for the US. If you increase that to 12, 15 or whatever it is, and those increased members are all politically leaning one way, so they're clearly biased towards democratic values, socialist values, anything like that, well, what can happen is then you have the highest court or the highest level of law in the land, will just make up new laws to support your ideology and your dogma, in which case, well, the US and in fact the West becomes a very different place to what we know. So it's a very, very dangerous thing. And the fact that Biden says that the voters don't deserve to know like at this point, with that sort of answer, if you're still voting for Biden, you're a fucking idiot and you don't know anything about the seriousness of this.
That is a deep concern, isn't it? If he does manage to get into power, and his line of thought is that the public doesn't deserve to know, well then, yeah, that's not something you want to be a part of.
It just goes to show that between the two of them, so Harris and Biden, neither of them have any respect really for the American people. It's all about power. It's all about appeasing the extreme left wing, that socialist body that's grown in America, that disease that's grown in America for years now, and we see sort of birthing in the Black Lives Matter protests and the chaos and civil unrest we've seen in the last 2 years.
Mm, yeah, yeah. It's not a good state. Not a good state.
No, no. But anyway,
All right. So, what's Trump's answer to that? Do you know, man?
well, he doesn't really need to at the moment. He doesn't really. I mean, he of course the party line is that that's disgraceful, and that they need to answer because he's effectively said, well, the fact that they won't give you an answer is an answer in itself. They won't give you an answer because their answer is that they will pack the court. But if they come out and say
Mm-hmm.
that, well, that should lose them the election.
Well, yeah, you would think it would. You would think it would.
So the Trump's campaign and the Republicans' campaign is effectively just saying, "Hey, look at what he's actually saying,"
Yep. Yep. It's a
or in this case, what he's not saying.
it's a bit of a disastrous situation, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, this is American politics at the moment.
Yeah, and let us be clear, people. We're not experts on this, so but we do have a fair understanding of it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, go on.
bloody.
You go on.
Well, I tell you what, man. Anyone who claims to be an expert these days in American politics is probably a liar anyway. So I don't think there's any such thing as an expert anymore.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point.
Hmm.
Good point. All right, mate. Well, what's news on the home front? We've hit the US, so
Yep.
what's on the home front? Because I know Victoria's been in the news, and also New South Wales as well.
Mate, I tell you, this is what I meant when I said earlier. It's been a very busy week. There has been news left, right, and centre in Australia. So let's go to New South Wales first, right? Basically, what's happened is the ICAC hearing for the New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian. I think it's how you say her name. It's fucking really impossible to say, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. That's been heard, and the corruption probe is pretty much ongoing. Now, so far, what they've found is that she hasn't been found guilty of any sort of corruption. She actually hasn't done anything wrong. What's happened is her former boyfriend effectively used her position and her influence um, to leverage business deals to make himself a bit more coin. So effectively, she's just a little old lady that's been you know used by a boyfriend for his own gains. But it's an interesting one because that's currently her defence. Obviously, the ICAC hearing is ongoing. The corruption probe is ongoing. We don't know if more is going to come out, and if more does come out, then obviously the story becomes very different. But at the moment, effectively, she's pulling that argument that she was just taken advantage of. But the question's been raised: if this was a male MP or a male premier, he would have been sacked at the start of this. So the question is this sort of, is this sexism?
Hmm. Yeah,
Is this a bit of female privilege?
yeah. That's a good question, isn't it? That's a good question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, that's a question I hadn't considered. So I'm a little bit thrown off by that one. But yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Because you could almost bet on the fact that if it was a male, he'd be gone straight away.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Um, I think all we can say on that bit of news is that watch this space. There definitely will be more to come, and it becomes more and more interesting by the day as the ICAC hearing continues.
Exactly right. We'll keep you updated in the N9G way.
That's it. our own special, peculiar way.
Exactly. All right, so Victoria now, my home state. Well, your home state too, man. So
Well, yeah, my former home state, yes.
it looks like Dan Andrews, one of his right hand man, has pulled the pin as well, which takes the total up to two.
Yeah, yeah, mate. The dominoes are starting to fall. They really are. So this week, you said his right hand man. That's exactly accurate. So Chris Eccles, who was the head of the Premier's department, has resigned. He resigned because he, quotation marks, has now remembered that he did make a phone call during a very critical 6 minute period during the deliberations as to whether to use private security or not, despite having given evidence to the code inquiry earlier that no such call was made. Now, we still don't know what was said in the context of that call, but the fact that, well, evidence has come out that completely contradicts his testimony has made it effectively untenable for him to maintain his position, and he's been forced to resign. Again, quotation marks, it's a voluntary resignation, but just like the Jenny McCarthy situation, that's absolute bullshit. We know that. Andrews is just trying to shed dead flesh to save himself.
Wow, yeah, I imagine he's probably pulling the pins from somewhere, isn't he?
Oh, he has to be, man.
Calling the shots.
Yeah.
Calling the shots.
Look, at this point, I tell you what, my prediction is that he'll be gone by April.
Yep. Yep. I couldn't imagine him lasting too much longer.
I mean, he'll fight it until they literally drag him out of office because he's that delusional. But yeah, at some point, some very serious people will start moving on him internally, and he'll be out of there.
Yeah. Yep. And hopefully Victoria can get back on track.
That's it. That's it. Anyway, moving. Well, we're going to stay on Victoria for the moment because this is the last piece of news. This one came out only yesterday, but this one,
Right.
I don't think a lot of people have realised the significance of this piece of news and this announcement by Professor Sutton, so the chief health officer in Victoria. But this one here is a clear indication that people should really start to worry about how free Victoria is. Because what you're seeing is a consistent encroachment upon your personal liberties and your personal freedoms that is granted to you in the Australian Constitution that are just being stripped away for the sake of this COVID virus, which now there is no medical or scientific justification for the level of lockdown or for the lockdown period and for this level of response. Nowhere else in the world does this. We suspect here it's got to do with the contact tracing and the fact that it's so poor in Melbourne. Basically, what Professor Sutton has said in a press conference last night was that he has flagged potential invasion of privacy breaches by using phone tracking software. So this is the sort of software that like the AFP, ASIO, or your national level law enforcement agencies use to track people who they suspect restrictions. So effectively, if they just suspect that you've done the wrong thing, they will now start tracking your phone, tracking your movements,
Right.
tracking your calls,
Okay.
effectively spying you. Professor Sutton wants to commit domestic spying, domestic espionage on your own citizens.
Wow. That will not fly. Put it that way. That will not fly.
Well, whether it flies or not, the fact of the matter is that he is the chief health officer of Victoria, and this is what he's proposing.
Yeah. I hope the public pick up on that because I don't imagine that would be a good thing for Victorians.
No. I tell you what, just for everyone at home, I encourage everyone to go read George Orwell's book 1984. Now, I won't give you a synopsis of 1984, but you'll read it and you will see the similarities between the book and Victoria within the first couple of chapters. Now, let me just explain to the viewers here, that is not a life you want to live. If you enjoy being free, having personal liberty, then you have to draw a line and you have to fight for those freedoms at some point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we're not advocating for violence, absolutely not. But at some point, you've got to fight for the things that you want in life.
Well, Yeah, I mean, violence definitely wouldn't be the way, but sticking up for what you believe in a clear, precise manner is a good way to start.
100%. And look, we'll close out the news segment by saying this, that from the great movie Team America World Police, remember the quote, freedom isn't free.
And that is such a top-notch movie. We also recommend you guys go and watch that again.
Matt Stone, Trey Parker.
Two great individuals.
That's it. That's it. All right, man, let's get some levity in here. So we're going to start this week, viewers, with a new segment, which we're going to call Flog of the Week. Basically, what we do is either Turtle and I will have picked someone that's just given us individually the shits this week, and we're just going to have a little go at them because why not? And then what we're aiming to do is by the end of each year, we'll have a Flog of the Year award where we'll make up some sort of little statue thing. We'll mail it to said flog so they can have a little memento of their year's worth of achievement of just being a dickhead.
All right, so flog of the week for us this week. Well, he's an AFL player, so he's in a privileged position. Goes by the name of Dan Houston. He's an absolute donkey of a person, and the state that he's in right now is just abysmal. We came across him playing Call of Duty, which everyone needs their downtime, so and we're no different. But he decided to stream and take it upon himself to be a dickhead. You know what, mate? You're in a privileged lifestyle right now. Fucking take some responsibility and act like you deserve it, because you really don't, mate. Flog of the week.
Mate, a brutal start to the year segments of Flog of the Weeks. I love it. I love it.
Well, he's an absolute donkey. And also, just briefly on that,
Yeah.
lost my respect for Port Adelaide after him.
Well,
Not that it was high, but it lowered even more.
that's it. No one likes Port Adelaide, do they?
No, they don't.
We just sort of,
And now you know why.
yeah. I mean, we just sort of tolerate them. Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe we can do like a flog of the team too. Flog of teams. Flog of the team. Something like that.
Yeah. We'll do that. Perhaps we'll do that at the end of each season. So once the grand final's played, yeah, we'll do the floggiest team of the year.
And no clubs off limit either. So everyone knows we're a Carlton and St Kilda supporter. Even our teams are on the chopping block when it comes to N9G.
Oh, mate, everyone's in the firing line. We either don't discriminate or we discriminate against everyone evenly. We're all about equal rights here. Everyone is equally a dickhead.
Exactly. Equal rights, equal fights.
That's it. All right, man. Let's keep this train rolling.
Right.
Let's go to Grind My Gears. Das, what's giving you the shits this week?
Okay, so at my workplace, we were meant to be audited on Monday. We got confirmation that we were going to get audited, and everyone is going into hysterics, panic buttons, hit the big red button. It's just going bananas, and so we're all stressed. I'm losing sleep. Everyone's losing sleep. I got my 6 hours sleep, which is pretty good. So I didn't lose too much. But the fact of the matter is, this dickhead did not come on the Monday like he said he would. Right? Okay, fine.
Yep.
You can live with that. You can live with this bloke saying, okay, well maybe he got caught up with the state of disruption that's going on right now, and fine. We'll let you go one day. Said he'd be there Wednesday. Okay. Well, it's Thursday today when we're recording this. Didn't show up on Wednesday either. Okay, so now, me personally, I'm thinking, rightio, this guy might be a candidate for Flog of the Week. Again, we know he's in Ballarat because he hit a Ballarat store on Tuesday. Okay? So, we know he's around. He just hasn't come to our store, which is what he said he'd do. So we find out on Wednesday around lunchtime that he's not coming in, and of course I've taken that on board and been the cool dude that I am, said, fuck this guy.
Yes, naturally.
Naturally. Exactly. I get told by the store manager that Thursday is going to be the day. We're likely going to be getting audited on Thursday. Okay, fine. Rock up this morning at the crack of dawn, thinking, "Yep, got a big day ahead of me here. I've had some toast in the morning. I'm set.
Yep.
I'm good to go." So gets to 8 o'clock when he calls the store. He goes, "Oh, g'day guys. No, we're actually in Bendigo today. You filthy fucking tart."
Why is he in Bendigo?
I got myself. Well, he's auditing the store up in Bendigo.
Right. Okay.
He left Ballarat. He left Ballarat in the morning, so he'd had to get up at 6:30 in the morning to
Yeah.
get to a Bendigo store on time. He is a class 1 dickhead. This guy.
All right.
If you're gonna say we're gonna audit your store on X day, do it on X day. That cuts all the stress, all the bullshit out of my week, which makes my week a lot more enjoyable. So that's my grind my gears, mate.
Yep.
If this donkey of a bloke came on the Monday, I'd have a better week. That's all. I just want a good week. It's not too much to ask for, I don't think.
So this auditor has said he was going to come and do something. Hasn't rocked up. Hasn't done the thing which he said he was going to do. Fucks up your week. Keeps you up at night.
Yeah.
You get grey hairs. Hairs fall out.
Yep. Exactly. Sleepless nights. Instead of getting my usual 6.5, I only get 6. It's an absolute disaster.
Mate, it's a travesty of nature.
Yeah. I don't ask for much, mate. I don't ask for much.
No, just that extra half hour sleep.
Yeah, just that half hour sleep. And this donkey to come and do his job. Which makes my life easier.
Right.
Which makes everyone else's life easier because I'm in a good mood.
Alright. So, fuck the Coles auditor, basically.
Exactly.
Alright.
Exactly.
Alright, good. Well, mate.
Alright. Floor's yours.
Alright.
What is grinding your gears
this
week?
I'm glad you brought up your sleep because that's consistent with mine. So, I bought my first home early this year, right? And I've had the Renault bug, the Bunnings bug ever since. Now, buying your first home on your own, you're not going to buy some, $800,000, less than 5 years sort of home. Because just no one's got that money, unless you're sort of a silver spoon person. So you buy a home where, it's a bit of a fixer-upper, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do the whole home reno thing for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, one of the many little niggles in my house is, well, I suspect, I don't really know yet. So in my bedroom, on one of the walls, right, between the hours of 8 in the morning and 9:30 in the morning, there is a tippity-tap, there's a clickety-clack, there's a fucking something, right? It's in the walls. Only in this period of time. Not at night, not in the middle of the day, not earlier. So what shits me about it is, say if I'm working, I finish at work at 6 in the morning, I come home and I've had an all-night shift. I just want to fucking sleep. I get into bed, I get all cozied up, right? I'm not quite asleep yet. I'm not that pre-sleep, right?
Yeah.
I'm just falling down the cliff a little bit. Anyway, in comes this little fucking clickety-clack, keeps me awake. And just can't get to sleep, drives you fucking bonkers. You get more mad that you now can't get to sleep because of the clickety-clack, which means you just won't get to sleep. It's a vicious fucking cycle, and it slowly drives you fucking insane. So now I'm suffering from insomnia because I can't get to fucking sleep because of some clickety-clack bullshit, and I can't fix it because, so it's on the roof. I don't know what it is. I've been up there because I thought, it might be like some birds or something. They're in a nest, Mama bird comes in the morning and regurgitates all of her worms and shit into the baby birds. Yeah, and they're on their beaks, they're clicking on the fucking door. Nah, no birds. And I'm thinking, maybe it's some water dripping. But then I'm like, hang on a minute. I'm in Brizzy. It hasn't fucking rained for like a week straight. How the fuck is there water
Yep.
dripping after 10 days? And this is probably one of the highest points in the house. So it's not as if it's water draining down from the water pipes or sewage or anything like that. So I literally think I've got like a fucking troll or a gremlin or some sort of mythical prick who's just materialized just to shit me right at sleep-in time.
I have heard that.
Because it also ruins my fucking Sundays. Also ruins my fucking Sundays because I can't sleep in because I got this fucking prick tippity tapping on my fucking wall when I'm trying to just enjoy
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. That's a serious problem.
So what's grinding my gears this week is mystical, magical, selfish motherfucking trolls that click and clack on my fucking wall in the morning when I'm trying to sleep in. It's fucking bullshit.
uh,
Like, fuck off. Go to the next house. Go annoy somebody else.
yeah, mate, I completely agree. Do you miss socks as well?
Socks.
Has a pair of your socks gone missing?
No, because I thought maybe there's a cat or something. Maybe the
Yeah.
cat's going up there and they're stealing and they're just pissing me off because cats do that sort of thing. But no, there's no cat around that I've
Yep.
seen unless he's some like level fucking 50 veteran stealth motherfucker from Splinter Cell or some shit. I don't know. Haven't seen him.
Well, viewers, that is your grind my gears segment. The chief has a gremlin. I have an auditor problem.
Well, they're really the same thing.
Well, yeah, they're one and the same, aren't they? One and the same.
Exactly. Same gene pool.
All right, mate. Well, let's get into this last little segment of shit talk. What picking at your brain this week?
Do you know? So I've had one of the first community engagements on the channel. Very proud. We've had a request to talk about OnlyFans.
Right, OnlyFans.
Yep. OnlyFans. Yep.
Okay, so OnlyFans
So
is a way to make money by posting pictures and videos online, isn't it?
yeah, it effectively is. I mean, look, it's not just used for porn and whatnot. You can use it for whatever, but that's the way it's mainly used. But effectively, what it does is it cuts out the
Mm-hmm.
middleman. So you're not putting images on say Pornhub or anything else like that. You put it on a site which you control, and profits go directly to you. As is my understanding of it. Basically, man, I just want what's your opinion? Like, first of all, your opinion on say if you were to do it, or just a friend of yours, and then your opinion perhaps if it was someone close to you, say like a daughter, a son, a parent, whatever.
Look, I think if say I was to do it, I couldn't see myself putting myself in front of a camera in that sort of situation.
Mate, there is a reason this is a voice channel and not a visual channel.
Hey, there is no need for that. There is no need for that, dog.
I'm not claiming to be bloody Chris Hemsworth myself, but
Look, I can understand why porn stars do this because when their videos and pictures, hit the porn hubs or the whatever other websites it is, they're losing money, and that's their job essentially.
yeah,
So I can understand why they are choosing
yeah,
to go via OnlyFans instead of another way because it is, as you said in the introduction, it cuts out the middleman. All profits appear to go to them, and so why would you try to put yourself out on a website that's not going to give you whatever figures or percentages it is slice of the pie
yeah,
when you can get 100% of it. The other thing that we got to keep in mind in as well is that all these people, they're all adults too.
yeah,
They can all make their own decisions.
yeah,
Whilst I would hope no one close to me or whatever it is would join this site willingly or unwillingly as well. I hope they would be in an industry where they can afford to live comfortably and not have to resort to something like this. It's
See, man, I think we're in agreement. I think we're in agreement
go on,
about
go
this.
on.
That in terms of a way to make money, if honestly, if you're clear,
Mm,
if you're happy with the ethics of it, and you're happy that you're maintaining your integrity despite having your tits blasted about the internet, then fucking go for your life. But the flip side of this is that, again, and this is why I said it before.
hmm
What if this was your daughter or your mum or something?
Yeah,
I tell you what, if it was my daughter, if I ever have a daughter, I would lock her in a room without any internet for about 1,000 years and throw away the key because I'd be losing my shit.
yeah, exactly. But I would hope that whoever it is makes the right decision and right choices in life, so that they don't have to resort to something like this.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it though is we know it's a lucrative business. So some people, free. I mean, there's a case of
hmm
that bloody racing driver, the chick. I don't know her name. I think she's meant to be a V8 supercar racer who stopped racing to do this. Yeah,
Isn't
I'm pretty
she
sure
an
she is, man.
Australian?
Yeah, that's why I bring up V8s.
I think I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her name, but I'm pretty sure she's an Australian woman.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. And she wasn't in any financial difficulty. She just chose to do this because, well, I mean, a lot of people go to it and then decide to continue because the money's just so good. So we know it's a very lucrative business if you get into it, and you can set yourself up for the rest of your life just by doing a few years of it. I mean, we look at the case of say Mia Khalifa, right? The Arabic porn star in the US who only did a couple of years of porn, made a shit ton of money, and got out. Same thing with what's that chick, Lana Rhodes, right? I think
Yep.
she's like one of the most famous porn stars in history. She only did porn for like a year, made an absolute shit ton of money, gained a massive following, and hasn't done it since.
Yeah. Right.
So, in terms of a business deal, in terms of a financial decision, OnlyFans actually makes a fair bit of sense, but the problem just always comes back to your integrity. What are you willing to give up for that level of financial return?
Well, yeah. And what are you? What's your self-esteem and self-confidence like? Because if you can take all the backlash, well then you know what? All the power to you. If that's what you can do, you know what?
Yeah, yeah,
Take it and run with it. Yeah, I would hope that the people close to me would have a better judgment and have more self-respect in my eyes.
yeah. And I think we're in agreement about this. I go, you know what? It's fine to do. Financially, I can certainly understand it. If it's a friend that's doing it or just some random doing it, hey, go for your life. If you're happy to do it, and you can maintain your integrity and your self esteem, go for your life. But I tell you what, just make it somebody else's daughter, not mine, because I'd lose my shit. Can't handle that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly right, mate. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that just about wraps it up, Chief.
Yeah, this has been a long one, man. Let's call it a day.
Also, feel free to give us topics that you guys want us to talk about. We are open to having discussions. And if you want something said specifically for an entire episode or not just like a tiny segment, we are open to that. So, yeah, feel free to give us ideas and, well, not ideas, but topics to discuss and let's go for it.
For sure, guys. So any of those topics, chuck them down in the comment section below. And on that topic, like, subscribe, comment, carry a pigeon, fucking whatever. Just get on board with
Hit
the
the bell
channel.
notification.
That's it. Hit the bell to make sure you get notifications every single time we go live or we post a new video, so you stay up to date with all your weekly N9G videos. And on that topic, man, I think let's call it a day. Let's wrap it up. And you give it the closing word.
All right, guys, that's gonna be up. That's gonna be it from the Turtle and the Chief this week. We will catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Later, guys.